Audio boys and girls, it's time for another Jeep Talk Show interview episode. I forgot what I was doing. We got Cole here today. Cole is the off-road market specialist and off-road applications manager for Tyri Lights, Tyri, and has been with the company since they started getting into off-road sector over 3 years ago. With a heavy mechanical background and massive love for mixing nature and automobiles, Cole has become a go-to source for quality information on proper off-road lighting application. I bet you're the go-to source because Ken had a stick and he taught you all the information. It's a joke because Ken's super nice. There's no way it would be a pool noodle at best. Cole's become the go-to source, and he is from Wisconsin. He loves his cheese, and he loves the brand he represents. Real quick, tell me about cheese curds, because we talked about this, and I was like, I don't know what cheese curds are.
Oh man, you could have a whole nother episode on cheese curds, but
we should schedule one of those, and then you can bring cheese curds in to show.
Yeah, I'm not a certified expert on that, but I'm pretty much an expert. Now, cheese curds are a Wisconsin delicacy. They're the concentrated part of the cheese, basically, so they're most cheesiest cheese you can get.
Oh my God, you sold me.
Yeah, they should
make Cheetos. Cheetos should make Wisconsin cheese curds Cheetos.
I would love that. I already love Cheetos enough, so I'd be eating of that.
Yeah. Do you wipe your fingers off, or do you actually use that as the secondary flavor once you're eating the Cheetos?
You gotta keep the little bit of dust on there.
Oh, you just scrape it on your teeth. We're grossing some people out, I know, mostly women, but it's just so good. Did you? Yeah. This isn't a cheese thing, but did you see that commercial that Doritos did, where the guy was doing the Doritos and his hands get all the stuff on it? He sticks it in the hole, and the very uncomfortable guy is sucking the uncomfortable situation where he's sucking the finger. I love that.
You saved the best part.
Yeah. Somebody needs to teach him about eating Cheetos and not letting somebody else suck the good stuff off of there. All right, so with that in mind, we're going to plug the website, TyriOffRoad.com. Ken is face palming. It's TYRI offroad.com. And this is great. I was just telling you, Cole, before we started the interview, I was really glad that you guys, because you had Tyri, was it Tyri.com, I think? And
Tyri Lights.
Tyri Lights, that's right. But you had to dig around to get to the off-road lights. And now you don't have to do that. You just go to TyriOffRoad.com. In fact, go there now so you have some idea of what we're talking about with these lights. And also, too, you'll be able to see the build quality. So that reminds me, I got a set of lights from Tyri about maybe a year or two ago now. And one of the things that surprised me about it was just picking up the box. I'll tell you guys, if you buy like 2-3 sets of lights from Tyri, lift with your legs whenever it's dropped off, because they're heavy. And you go, well, that doesn't sound very good. Once you open the box and you see how these things are built, vibration isolators, huge heat sink fins on the back of these things, the wire that comes out the back, there's actually no wire. It's just a plug. So you plug into the light, and you can get the pigtails. Do the pigtails come with the lights, or is that something you have to order in addition to?
All of our lights come with a pigtail, Deutsch connector, and a pigtail. So.
Yeah, Deutsch connector. Super quality, very good for dust and I think moisture. I don't know if it'd be considered waterproof, but you definitely can tell that it's like double sealed or triple sealed.
Oh yeah, they're not. You can't submerge the Deutsch connector plug, but yeah, they're very waterproof. You can pressure wash back there, no problem. Not have to worry. So.
Yeah, everything is high quality, and the reason why it's high quality is because Tyri Lights got in to lighting for the commercial side of things, and only recently, like we were saying here in the intro, just 3 years ago, they got into the off-road sector. So you guys should thank your lucky stars, as I am, that you can get a Tyri light that's not a commercial light. I don't even know, were you guys, before this 3 years, were you guys actually selling to individuals? You probably weren't, were you? They were probably being stolen off of equipment at the job site.
No, we're mostly OE distribution. So we did have another website, Foxtail Light, which we sell kind of to like heavy machinery upfitters. That was our only kind of end user way of selling lights. But now with the new Tyri Off-Road website, you can buy all of our lights right there. Still the same hardcore commercial quality as our other lights, just offered for the off-road. Half of them are even used on some mining equipment, logging equipment too, like the D18s that you have on your Jeep. Those are actually they use those on Komatsu big earth movers, those big dump trucks. They actually use
Oh,
red
cool.
lights. So yeah, so our lights are all still we bring them over from the other markets, but we just kind of apply them to the off-road. With the advent of overlanding and all these like different sectors of the off-road and different ways you can use a Jeep, all the problems that we've been solving for years in the heavy machinery side of life kind of have been, applicable to this market. We're finding more and more ways to get our product out there, and all these, new problems with lightings pop up. Like people need different solutions for different ways of wheeling. We're kind of pretty easy for them to get with because we have all these solutions from prior industry. So
Hmm.
it's a good way for us to kind of get in the door, not have to develop all these new products. We're basically just kind of taking stuff we already have and finding new ways to use them, which is awesome for us. So
Well built, bright off road lights. No, you don't have to fix anything. I mean, there's no special bolt patterns or anything there. That all this stuff can be transferred over to a Jeep or any other vehicle that you might want to take off road, which is kind of cool because you guys aren't specific to Jeep. These aren't Jeep lights because you can put them on Toyotas, you can put them on Rivians, so on and so forth. So,
yeah.
although I don't think the Rivian is going to be around that much longer, but
Yeah.
I always had a problem with the idea of putting on a really bright light on something that's battery powered. It just didn't seem to go
Yeah.
together.
It's yeah, the accessories are a little hard on that. But the cool thing with Tyri Lights is we have really good amp draw and we're EMC rated, which is very good for electrical vehicles as well. So when electrical vehicles are there, and they're more sustainable for wheeling, we'll be able to be applied to those as well. So we're not, not everybody's a fan of the EV movement, especially in the off-road world. But if it ever when they get into the market, we're there for them too. So they
Oh
can go
yeah,
in there.
no, and I think EVs are great, and I say this every time, and I'm going to continue to say this every time. Where the battery technology is not where it needs to be for it to be in competition with ICE vehicles.
Absolutely.
There's always these caveats that they say, well, most people only drive 20 miles a day, and blah 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 blah, and charging this and charging that, and I go, okay, fine, that's cool, but as a consumer, I'm not interested in having something that has caveats. You need to get it, and they're working towards it. They'll get there. You
Oh,
need to get it where it is as good or better range wise, and it needs to be better because I don't think you're going to cut the charging time down on it.
no,
So
no.
if you're going to have additional charging, then it's kind of like a smartphone. When like the old Nokias, you're probably too young to remember the old
Remember that.
phones, the not smartphones. Man,
Yep.
those things they'd stay charged for a month. Oh, no, not really, but at least a week.
Yeah.
And then the smartphones come along, and now we're charging them all the time. But it's worth it because of what they do. So
Hmm.
that's what the EVs need to do. Those EV cars and vehicles, they need to be like the smartphone, and then we'll put up with the subtle nuances that is just that second nature. At any rate, Tyri offroad.com is where you need to go, and fantastic lights, but damn, they're expensive. I mean, I think that the D18s I think that and you can correct me on this, I think they're about 475 each.
Yep. Around there. Yeah. And yeah, you get that when you see that first price, it's kind of like a, little stab of
Oh
the heart.
God. Yeah.
You're clutching your pearls a little bit, but I mean, buy once, cry once is kind of how we do it. And if you also look at the market too, if you're looking at like the bigger brand names too, like Baja, KC, all those guys, we actually are very reasonably priced compared to them. And for what you're getting comparatively, we are like we always say price per lumen, we are absolutely top dogs because paying for what you get in paying for what you get out of this product, you're stealing from us. I mean, we're giving you a lot of light for a pretty decent price on the market. The D18 like you have, that's our biggest light. That is our most expensive light. I will say the next model down, which actually has the same amount of lumens, is about $100 cheaper. So we're pretty decently priced. You have the biggest belle of the ball here, so you kind of are a little bit skewed on that pricing.
I'm a light nut though. I mean, I
Yeah,
have to have the biggest and brightest.
I hear you. Same. And we also, we got the high end stuff like that, but we also are getting into our baseline lights, which Eric talked about last time. He's
Yeah,
on your
this is a big deal because
Yeah,
everybody
so-
complains about I can't afford that. I mean,
Yeah.
because you can, like I was saying earlier, you can go to Amazon, get something cheaper, not as good, obviously, but it's like, what am I willing to spend? So but the baseline lights is great.
Yeah, and what you said about Amazon, it's getting harder and harder for us to justify, those people who are shopping on Amazon and don't necessarily need that high quality of lighting. We still want to facilitate them as well. We still want them to be part of the Tyri team. So we're trying to find ways of reaching those customers. And we actually came out with a new line of light. All the same standards and specs that we make all of our other lights to, they apply to these new lights, our baseline lights. So they're all, just as tough and just as rugged. The longevity of them is the same. We just kind of came up with more of an economical way to manufacture them, which is passed on to the end user, and then kind of have a baseline price, as we like to call it. So we have a 2900 effective lumen light that comes with all of our Tyri standards, and it's $99. So less than $100, and you have a great lifetime warranty, made in America product. So we're pretty proud of that as well. And I mean,
What's the model number on that? Do you recall is it just
so
base?
We're gonna have two different baselines. We're gonna have a baseline square and a baseline round. So basically, you'll be able to say that. We're still working out the names.
Okay. So with I think some people are familiar with the 1010s. You were showing me one earlier.
Yeah.
It's not the baseline is not a 1010, but is the baseline that similar size?
It's about a 4-inch light is what the class it's going to fall into. It's not as.
Do you have that? Do you have that light handy that you can show us here?
I don't have a baseline handy.
No, I mean the one you were showing me earlier, because I think you had a 1010. Yeah.
This is like a 1010, so you can kind of see how big it is.
Those are nice lights. I've got a set of those.
Yeah, this one actually too is something really cool we can talk about as well. It's a new updated 1010.
We're going to. I'm gonna bitch at you because I have the old ones.
Oh yeah, we'll get you. Yeah, just keep talking about the baseline though. Yeah, it's a really we call it an entry level light, but it's made by a professional company, and it's a professional product we consider. We're using it in our other markets as well, so it's not just like a specific thing for the off-road. It's a usable work light just like all of our other lights. So it's something we unveiled at SEMA this year. It's got a little bit of style options too. We might have some color options, some labeling options too for companies and shops and stuff like that. So just a really cool light.
That's the covers you're talking about, because I remember Eric talking about that, actually printing. Yeah, you guys got a big printer or something to actually print to the covers.
Yep, yeah, and on that light too, we can actually do the bezels of them. So they'll have like a plastic bezel around the lens, and then we'll actually be able to get that in a different color, or we can print on that too. Say if like a shop wanted to have someone.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't know about the bezels. I remember. Oh, okay. So, but I'm sorry. I'm thinking lens. The bezel is the part that goes around the outside of the light. Okay.
Yeah.
That's neat, because so you could like name brand a reseller. Is that what you have in mind? So if you're a reseller,
Yeah, we're a OE company, so white labeling and stuff like that is something we're pretty good at. So if a shop wanted to put their logo on a light or something like that, like for instance this 1010, if if a cool company wanted to put their logo and just have like special edition lights that come with their builds or something like that, we're very capable of doing that. And then like you mentioned too, like they come with covers, you can put that on there too. Other light companies have covers with their logos on and stuff. We do too, but this way you'll be able to, change out your cover and have your own. Maybe if you have your own logo for your own Jeep, you can have, your A-pillar lights have that logo or something like that.
Well, everybody loves the KC on the KC lights.
Sure.
And I've learned nothing against KC. They make a fine light, but I've learned through direct comparison off-road that the KC lights, and this is a pun, don't hold a candle to the Tyri lights. They look great, and they have a great following. I mean, I first got into off-road stuff when I was like 21, 22 years old, a number of years ago, and KC was a name then.
Oh yeah.
And so KC lights is like, got to have the KC lights. And I think it's more, you have to have that cover that says KC on it.
People love it. Yeah. And the smiley face covers. I mean, KC is a huge brand in lighting in the off-road. I mean, they've been around for a long time doing it. So yeah, no, their branding is top notch, and the covers are iconic. I mean, you
Yeah.
see
But
vehicles around.
what do you want? You want to be seen or you want to see?
Exactly,
It,
yeah. And
it,
we got
it-
covers too. So it's, we're not everybody. I always say guys like they always tell me they got KCs because they like the covers on them. I'm like, well, we got covers too. You can paint them yellow if you want. They're all good. You can gussy them up a little bit. They look
yeah.
good.
So I don't know if you saw any of the pictures or not, or I may have pointed it out to you last 2023 EJS. My wife actually cut vinyl to go over the Tyri logo
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
wanted the thing to stand out, and she
yeah.
did such a wonderful job. Good Lord, she spent so much time, and I was like, that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's fine. No, and she kept putting it on there. But yeah, so it really looks good, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really excited about what you guys are talking about as far as being able to print to them, because when you love a product, it's like me and Levi's. I don't wear any other jeans but Levi's. Now I don't like any other lights but Tyri Lights because they are just so good. And in full disclosure, the Tyri Lights sent me a buttload of lights, and that can be very painful, but I was still happy to get those. So I have a lot of lights that they provided to me at no charge. And I talk about it because I'm very grateful. They sent me a good light. If they sent me some suck ass shitty lights, I wouldn't be talking about them this way. I would interview Cole, but I wouldn't be talking that they're so well built and they're so bright and everything else. So trusting the Jeep Talk Show, what we have to say is very important to me. Yeah. All right. So the base lights are out. They're $100 a piece, and you can get round or squarish. I guess it's squarish, kind of like the 1010s that you were just showing.
Yeah, and it'll be even more square.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be like a pretty true square.
Some people like the cubes.
Yeah, no, and it's a good look, and it'll be kind of, you can use it for like a perimeter light too, on the side of stuff. It kind of looks cool. It fits with the shape of a rack and stuff like that. So yeah, we're working on names, but right now it's the square baseline and the round baseline for now.
Something that a lot of people may not be aware of, is the light bar the V12?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys have a light bar, and it has multiple different. Oh, good, you got one. It has multiple different. I don't know what you call them, inserts or covers, because there's like one that is chrome looking. There's another one that says black.
Yeah. So like this one right here, this is our standard Hyperion V12. It's our Hyperion is the series of lights, and this is the V12, the 12-inch one. You can see here I got the yellow lens on this one, but inside is a black reflector. We actually have our own technology in these lights. So right here are light engines. It's our own patented technology. So all the reflecting and refracting is done in there. So this reflector in here, this black one, is actually it doesn't really serve a reflecting purposes, so we're able to change it out to black. So when you get a Hyperion light bar standard, they come with black. We do have some options available where you can get a chrome housing. Oh, this is a black housing too. Never mind. We can get a chrome housing in them. I thought this was a chrome housing as well, or a chrome reflector, but this will be chrome. It kind of pops the shape of it a little bit better. You can kind of see it. But as well, we have been messing around with doing. We have like a blue chrome and a red chrome and a gold as well that we're thinking about offering.
Oh, wow.
As well. Yeah, so it's not offered at the moment, but we have samples and stuff that we've been testing out and making sure that, with the different colors, that we're not melting it or anything like that. Giving it the good Tyri test. So if those do pass and that's something people are interested in, we're thinking about pushing, maybe some special editions or something like that, just doing like a run of, reds or blues or something. So yeah, this is a super cool light though. We came out with this about a year ago, but we actually have I expanded on it since. We actually make this linkable, so you can go a 12, 24, 36, or even a 48-inch light bar, which I actually have on my Jeep right now, which is an insane light.
Wait a minute. You got a Jeep? I thought you guys had that big ass Ford, that Brodozer.
Hey, I'm a Ford guy. I was born a Ford guy, but through my career here at Tyri, I have really become a Jeep person. I've been driving the JL around for 3 years. I love the thing.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm a Jeep person too, so yeah.
Oh, you can be both. Okay, I got you.
Exactly, yeah. And I got plenty of Tyris on my Fords too, so don't worry about that.
I know, because I was bitching about it to Eric, going, I'm so glad you guys got that Ford off the site and put a Jeep on there.
I heard that, yeah. I have to come on and just establish I am a Jeep person. I like Jeeps, everybody, right? But
and there's nothing wrong with bright lights on a Ford pickup.
Exactly.
I'm a big pickup fan. Yeah. I mean, not so much now. They just don't look right. I probably would buy a Ford over a Chevy. Chevy is what I had in the past, but the Fords are really nice. I think the last Ford I had was a Club Cab F100, like a 92.
Nice.
And yeah, it was a very nice vehicle. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I always tell people I have to. I was a mechanic my whole life before I got to this job. I tell people I stay sharp because I own Fords. You know, I got to keep some old Fords around to keep my mechanical skills up to par here. So
hey, you always need a good tow vehicle. The problem I have is affording it and a place to park it that's not on the street. I hate parking on the street. It's this one drunk driver away from a big problem. All right. So anyway, the direction I was going on the V12 was you guys have a mount, and I think it was originally just a Jeep product, a Jeep performance product add-on that you could get, but now you have it available for the V12 that mounts to is it the Rubicon metal bumper bar, the bull bar?
Yes. So we actually, Mopar offers a integrated.
But you guys are offering it now too, aren't you?
Yes. So ours is a little different because we're not going to just offer the same Mopar product. We actually wanted to make ours our own style. Ken wanted to make it a little bit more robust and a little bit taller. So ours is actually a little bit taller, but it's a 2.5-inch bull bar with that V12 I just showed you integrated in the middle of it. So you get a nice bull bar accessory with the light on it as well.
It looks factory. It's not like you slapped a light onto it. There's nothing wrong with that. But for the V12 that bar, having it on the bull bar and with this integration that wraps around that bar, it looks like you bought a bumper with this light in it. It's really, really cool. And they can see this at TyriOffRoad.com, right?
Absolutely. Yep. It's called our Hyperion loop. So it fits all the steel bumpers on the newer Rubicons and stuff like that. I think we have one that fits the Mojave as well, I want to say.
Is that something that's well, you said Mopar, so this is probably available like at the dealership and stuff if you wanted to add that on. I don't know exactly how that works.
So like I mentioned, our hoop is different than that one. So our hoop is a little taller and a little bit thicker tubing. But if you wanted the slimmer one, the Mopar option would be the one you go to. And yeah, you can get that from a dealership. You can get it through Mopar's site, through Jeep. All offered through there.
Very cool. Okay, so and you mentioned the light bar that you guys have. The light bar is so basically what you have is some sort of mounting thing that you can put these V12s in, or do you sell them as a one piece type thing?
No, we'll sell them as a V24, 36, or 48. So you order it and you order, whatever size you want, the 12, 24, 36, or 48. We teamed up with Rockslide and we offer their brackets for the 48-inch light bar. We have the JK brackets and we also have the JL brackets, which is what I have on my JL, but that goes across. It has the A-pillar mounts that replace your cowl, and then it shoots up, and then you have the bar across. And that's actually made for a 51-inch bar, I believe. But with all of our V48s, we include adapters. So basically that makes up the extra 3 inches you need to get to the 51-inch.
Right.
And it's real clean, nice aluminum. I think when Eric was on last, he showed you what the piece looks like. It's pretty nice. So all pretty heavy duty stuff.
So I would assume you have the 48 on your Jeep. How are you liking it? How adjustable is it as far as the light goes, the pattern?
So adjustability wise, I mean, it is kind of what you get on it. I like this pattern a lot because it is more, with all of our lights, we give you that flood. We call it wide symmetric or narrow symmetric. That just depends how much flood you get. Symmetric refers to like the cone of light that comes out. If the cone is symmetric, it's like a big cone. If it's asymmetric, we kind of have the top cut off, so you have like a flood beam. But the light bar is more of a narrow symmetric, and it's actually like the shape of the light bar. So you kind of see a slight hot spot in that shape almost, but you still get that flooding. And when you start stacking them together, like the V48, like I have on my Jeep, the light compounds on each other. It's 17,200 effective lumens coming out of that. And I can tell you firsthand, being around lights, it's one of the brightest lights I have ever seen in my life. I live in northern Wisconsin. I go on logging roads a lot. I mean, even just the roads I get to my house are long and straight and full of deer. I turn that light on and I could see deer eyes for at least 2 miles if there's enough road. I can't see how far that light goes with my bare eyes. So
it's wonderful. People often make the comment about lockers before lights, and I always maintain that if you had the lights, you may not need the lockers.
Absolutely, yeah, you ain't wrong there.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I don't know if you now you shouldn't do this. I'm not recommending that anybody do this, but we all get behind idiots on the road. I like putting the bright lights on them to cook them, to sterilize them, so there's no more idiots being generated.
Yeah, if only that's how it worked, that'd be amazing.
And this would be a good selling point for the Hyperion 48-inch light bar.
Yeah.
So I bitch about this every time. I bitch about it to Ken. I bitched about it to Eric, and I'm gonna bitch about it to you. I think that the V12s are very, very nice, but they are the wrong shape. The light bar should have round or even those square lights, and many of them, because
my style now.
What's old is new again. The light bars came out, everybody had to have one. It never really looked Jeepy to me.
Yeah.
But I'm from that generation where the KC lights were out and they were round, they were incandescent and round. And you see a light bar, having that round light on the light bar is just, to me, is the way it should be. So is there, if you guys aren't working on something like that, I would prefer you say, I can't talk about it, instead of saying we're not doing it. So is there any hope for rounds?
Yes, definitely hope. We've messed around with it in the past. We have a Ford, a Raptor, that we put a bar in the grill, kind of like that, where we had, I think it was 7 1010s.
Oh, nice.
And it was awesome. I also have a buddy out in Michigan. If you guys want to follow him, his Instagram's Budget Crawler, but he rocks all of our lights. He has a JK with 8 1313s across the top, just like you're talking about, and it's a very good look. So we're thinking about we just, at Tyri, we want to make sure everything's bulletproof and then some. It's got to be tank proof. So like you mentioned, our lights are not light. They're full aluminum heat sinks. There's some weight to them. Having a product like this, there's going to be just some natural weight to it. So making a product like that we're comfortable with, people strapping over their windshield, is something we want to be absolutely sure of. So getting that, locked down is going to take a little bit, but we are working on something like that.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the V12s. Very, very nice. I've got a couple of them that Ken sent me, and I'm still working on a mount to go onto the Gladiator. Still haven't worked that out yet, but definitely want to put that on there, especially with the amber cover in there, along with the 1010s that I have that are ambers. Oh, this is funny. I've told this story before. So I did an interview with Ken out at EGS 2024. He pulls up in this is wonderful. He pulls up in the 4xe, and it's like every light known to Tyri Lights is on this Jeep. So he pulls up and kind of in front of the Gladiator. We were at the parking lot for Hell's Revenge, and he gets out. I know Ken, I don't need a hello, but still, he gets out. It's not a hello. It's immediately looking at the lights, the Tyri Lights on the front of the Gladiator. He goes, "Oh, you've got the old lenses on the 1010s. I need to get you some new amber lenses. They're much better with the blah, 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 the blah, blah, blah." So I thought that was so cool. It's not like, I'm just the guy that signs the checks. No, he's involved in the stuff, so much so that it's like me and walking up to somebody that has a dog. I gotta pay attention to the dog.
No, yeah. Ken's an avid Jeeper. He loves Jeeps. He has a home in Arizona, so he goes out west a lot, wheeling. He loves being in the thick of it.
I love that. But I mean, that's very important to me, that whenever you're buying a product, whether it's lights or Jeeps or whatever, that the person that's in charge of it is an enthusiast. I mean, I know you don't have to be, but it makes me feel better, because those are the type people that are going to be paying attention to the little things, the things that like you and I enjoy.
Yeah. And he's so open in the market too, being so, established in the other markets. It's easy for, someone to be stuck in one way of thinking, because they've been, successful in the one way, but he's so adaptable, and it's really starting to catch fire now at Tyri, and we're really starting to move because of it. So yeah, the addition of Eric on the team and having Ken as a boss, with Tyri Off-Road, we're making movements here, and it's big stuff. So I'm very excited.
I think it's going to be a big deal. I really do. I was really happy to get connected up with Tyri Lights, especially with the lights. And Ken's is such a great guy to interface with. I mean, just talk to. I found out he's a big Seinfeld fan as well. So it was fun. You remember that time? Blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah.
I love that aspect of this whole industry. It's the industry is very much like that. I mean, you have some people that are more so than others, but Ken's one of the good guys in my estimation. And we want to do whatever we can here at the Jeep Talk Show to help promote the Tyri Lights because they really are nice lights.
Appreciate
Not a non-paid statement. I mean, I got
it.
lights a couple of years ago. That's it. Let me see. What was I going to ask you about? Oh, okay. So we talked about the base lights. Are you planning on other base lights that maybe be larger, like closer to the D18s? Or I get the
No,
feeling you guys look at the marketplace as more as the 4-inch lights is about as big as you need to go.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, we figure at the baseline, if you wanted to get anywhere out of the baseline, if you wanted something more than the baseline lights, is that's when you start moving into our 1010 or moving into our 1313. So I don't think we're going to be making any bigger lights per se. We might make different shape lights. We might have some, with the way that we started manufacturing those lights, that kind of opened up some opportunities for us to maybe do some other lights that we weren't willing to really to get into just because, the product count or something wasn't as high or something like that. We're able to get into these lower count, product pieces now because of how we manufacture those. So we're not gonna make bigger lights per se, but you'll see a lot of cool stuff coming from us because of our different avenues of manufacturing that we're coming up with now. So
hmm You guys have probably already thought of this, but I like the idea of gateway drugs. And if you can get somebody in on a base light
that's what it's all
and
about.
get to learn the quality and how just the brightness and all that's the great things about the Tyri lights, it's going to be a lot easier sell to the more expensive, brighter lights. Oh, and speaking of brighter, you were sharing something with me earlier about you guys are getting more effective lumens,
Yeah.
not due to the LEDs that are being used, not due to any kind of reflector or anything in there, but by the circuit board, which I found interesting.
Yeah. So we actually came up, I say we like I was part of the project,
Well,
but
that's okay. We
a lot of
understand.
smarter people here at Tyree came up with a new way to make printed circuit boards. So we make all of our own printed circuit boards, and we found out how to do our own way of making them, where we get 20% more output out of them with keeping the same amp draw. So, for
That's
instance,
huge. That I just
it's
want to let everybody know that's huge. Amps
massive.
is what melts wires. So
Exactly. And we were already pushing the limits of the lights, as is. So for us to, find this little gateway and unlock this next level of lights is huge. It's extremely game changing in the market. Nobody else is going to have this technology. It's our own patented technology, our own way of making it, and it's done the Tyree way, so it's done right. But this light specifically was a 4600 lumen light, so that was effective lumens you were getting out of the housing. Now we're cranking it up. It's 6,000 lumens. No other light in this size will be even close to as bright. People aren't even gonna be able to lie about being close to this light. A lot of other companies like to talk about theoretical or raw lumens. Even
right.
those numbers aren't going to touch the effective lumens of this light. And this is just the first light we're doing. We're going to be applying it to our D18s, our 1313s. All of our other lights are going to be getting this update as well. We just kind of had to work out, you know, some lens material kinks. We actually were melting some of our lenses
I
because of
could
the
see that. Yeah.
yeah. So we had to change up lenses a little bit. As you
More
see,
more sterilization of dumb people. I like
exactly.
this.
Yeah, exactly. Try anything in front of it. But yeah, no, this is our 1010. It's also got a new housing you can see. If you're familiar with our product, our 1010 looked a little bit more commercial and industrial. This one's a little bit more stylistic. The front has changed as well. We got a couple more diodes in there. It kind of gives a cool look. But yeah, super awesome. This light is going to be entirely game changing. 6,000 lumens in a 4-inch
That's
light. I
amazing.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done that. So we're pretty excited about that.
And you can
And
still change the lenses in those, right? I mean,
yeah,
you have
yeah,
various variations in lenses to change the pattern and also to an
yeah.
amber.
Yep. Also, all of these will come. So you see the screws here that hold the bezel on. There's four more screws in there. They hold the lens on, and you get with all lights, with all Tyri lights, the bigger ones, you get a yellow lens with it. You get gasket, and you get new screws as well, so you can swap that anytime. We don't do the clip-on cover stuff because, like I mentioned before, we're melting lenses. Pushing our lights the way we are. So if you put anything in front of it, it's just going to cause a little bit more heat. And in my eyes, and at Tyri, that whole clip-on uh, amber is kind of a gimmick. It's kind of exposing
Oh
how
yeah, yeah, yeah.
output of your light, as far as we're concerned. It's great for other brands and stuff, but we found other ways to get around that. So yeah, all of our lenses are swappable, and they will be with all of our bigger lights. But yeah,
Yeah.
no. this new PCB that we came out with, it's game changing. We're super excited to show
Is
it
that
off.
what's shipping now, or is that coming out in a time frame?
So we're just finalizing the finalization of it, like just on the very, very tip of finalizing. So we're thinking Q1 next year, we're going to be starting to release these to the public, and you guys will
Damn
start
it!
being.
I wanted to say just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, I know it would be awesome. We had to with as much output as it's putting out, we're trying to make sure it's all bulletproof and tank proof, just like everything else.
Oh yeah,
Make
no. I mean, you're one Jeep fire away from bad publicity.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Speaking of which, I remember, and I think this is after my wife put the vinyl stickers on the covers that I got with the Tyri Lights. I sent Ken a message and I said, "Hey Ken, if I leave these D18s on, could I damage the cover?" And I wasn't so worried about myself, but the kids or my wife, and they turn this thing on, and then you smell something, and then these nice Tyri covers are toast, and it's probably defaced the front of the light. And Ken says, "Oh yeah, it'll melt them."
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn."
Funny story. The very first set of lights I ever put on a vehicle when I started at Tyri, it was on my blue Jeep. I was installing a pair of 1010s, and I had the one side. I have the upfitter switches in my Rubicon, so I got them all there, and I was messing with them. And I put the one side on, and as I'm putting the other side on, I smell something a little bit like plastic, and I'm looking around, and all of a sudden I see a beam of light coming
Oh
through some plastic smoke
no.
out of the one side. So yeah, it melted the lens, it melted the cover and all that, but I just swapped the lens and it was good to go. But you'd be surprised. I mean, you probably wouldn't be surprised, but I get a lot of calls from people, from customers who say, I just put it on and I melted this and I'm worried, I broke the light, and we'll send them, new covers and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
and
happens
those
more
lenses
often.
are really easy to change out. 4
Yeah,
screws, a gasket, and
yeah,
just don't drop a screw.
yeah, no,
So I was going to an off-road event. I think this is right. Yeah, I was going to an off-road event, and I have the auxiliary switches in the Gladiator, and
Mhm.
those aren't in eyesight. They're down and around the transfer case and transmission deals. Anyway, I'm going down the road, and I'm on the highway by now, so I've driven at least 10 minutes, and I look down and I see that auxiliary light switch number 2 is on.
Mm.
That's the D18s,
Oh,
and they had the covers on them. Obviously, I would have noticed it if the covers weren't on.
yeah.
So I think I drove probably a total of 10 or 15 minutes with the lights on.
Oh, wow.
Did not melt, did not damage the covers at all. It wasn't super hot out, and I was driving highway speeds.
That'll
So
help it.
I think that's what happened. And just look at the covers; they look absolutely fine. But I just knew that I was going to have a problem. It wasn't a melt through, because I would have seen that. So
Sure.
it's real easy to do. And yeah, I don't know if it's better just to drive without the covers or not. I like the covers on there, especially with the the Tyri logo thing on there on the front of them now.
Yeah.
But man, also too, you never know when an idiot's going to be in front of you. I know I'm talking about the idiots driving a lot, but still.
Yeah, I live in northern Wisconsin, so I know a lot of states you have to have covers on if they're at a certain height or whatever. I don't ever have to have that, but yeah, I like having them ready to go at all times.
Mhm.
And plus, I'll melt covers too if I don't take them off. So
So I like the thing. And again, kids, don't do this at home or on the road. But I like it whenever somebody hits you with the high beams, and you hit the high beams back, and then they do it again, and you say, "But wait, there's more."
oh yeah. So a lot of times if a guy flashes me, he'll light up my lights on my Jeep and he'll know not to flash me again.
I'm sorry, officer.
Yeah, he's, oh, I didn't know you were packing like that. All right, never mind.
I get the feeling I'm going to do it to a cop, and the cop's going to ask me a bunch of questions about the Jeep and the lights and stuff, and then let me go. Figure my nervousness will be enough payback. Okay, so now I know Eric, and I think we've already talked about it, but I know Eric mentioned that you guys are going to be announcing things at SEMA. Was it the circuit board, or was there more than because we talked about the base lights on his interview, and you guys should go back and watch that interview on YouTube. Just do a search for Eric or Tyri. But we talked about that, and we talked about he didn't talk about the circuit board modifications, which is huge. I mean, that's bigger than the lights themselves. Especially 20%. 20% is really, really nice. That's a good bonus too, if you're getting a bonus on your check. So was there anything else that you announced at SEMA? That's enough, but I mean, was there? I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, no. What we really unveiled was our Hyperion light bars. The whole set of the 12 to the 48 inch. We also unveiled our baseline. We talked about this as well, our new 1010, and then our IntelliLight too, which I think.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. The IntelliLights are really neat. I mean, I
Yes.
remember you doing a spiel with Leah with Gone Jeeping. You
Yep.
recorded an interview with him while I was there in the booth with you.
Yeah.
And so these have been out for a while. So tell people, if they don't know about the IntelliLights, what the IntelliLight is.
Yeah, so the IntelliLight's really cool. I wish I had one within reaching distance here, but what it is, it's a 1010 like this. And the only difference you'll see on the outside is it's got a little module on top with a Tyri logo on it. What's cool about that light is it's got two different color temperature diodes in it. So it can go from 2700 Kelvin to I believe it's about 5800 Kelvin. So you get a nice amber or a stark white. And what's cool about the IntelliLight is it's all controlled via Bluetooth. So you can control it with your phone on an app, or we also have a remote control with it.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, and what you can do is you can link the lights together. You can link an infinite amount of lights together. They just got to be within 100 meters of each other, or I think it's 50 meters, but pretty far apart. But you can group them together into different groups. You can change the settings on them, which is the biggest part about this light. And the settings that you can change on it are the output. You can change the color temperature. You can change, like I said, what groups it's in. You can change the power on it, like when you want them off and stuff. But yeah,
Oh, well, that's
you can
nice.
pretty much adapt it to whatever situation you're in. So when we originally came up with this, it was for the mining market. When you're down in the mines, you go through different sediment. You'll go from like a cooler sediment, like a nice bluer sediment, to maybe like an orange sediment. You get into a different part of the ground. So we developed this light so that you didn't have to like switch to another light. You could just change. You could go from that cooler temperature to that warmer temperature to be able to penetrate the
Well,
dust better.
yeah, you can adjust the lighting, and this is important for off-road use. It's
Oh yeah,
important for on-road use for fog lights, because
absolutely.
we all have learned that the bright white light, it reflects more light from the dust or snow into our eyes. With the
Yep.
IntelliLight, you can make it more amber. And then also too, the great thing about off-roading is, how everybody bitches about you've got 100,000 lumens and it's all behind the leaders, coming in the leader's back and mirror where they can't see what's going on. Well, now, and sometimes you need lighting off road, your own lighting, so you can see. Now you can
Yeah.
adjust the lighting intensity down and the color,
Yeah. A
because
cool.
I've learned that the amber actually gives you more information about the terrain. It makes it more 3D ish.
Yeah, you can see shadows a little bit better. Your eyes
Yes.
kind of pick up on the shadows and the hue changes a little
Hmm.
bit. A cool story about that is when we were first coming out with these, it was about 2 years ago now. I was out in Johnson Valley at King of the Hammers. And if you've ever been to King of the Hammers or know about it, there's after during the daytime, everybody's racing and doing the show, but then at nighttime they all go to Chocolate Thunder, which is like the big crawling area. So everybody was going to Chocolate Thunder. I was following that. I following everybody. It was like a mad rush there, but it was all dusty, super dusty. Like you couldn't see, 5 feet in front of you. And I had obviously all my lights on at first. I'm driving my Jeep. So I started taking lights down, and then so I'm able to see through a little better. Then I changed my color temperature on my tellies to the 2800 Kelvin, and I'm able to see a little bit better. But what actually changes, I put the power all the way down to 20%, and then I was able to actually see through the dust to be able to see the reflection off of the car in front of me. So it's incredible, like what minor.
Adjustments.
Yeah,
I always say the Scotty let me override that, Captain.
right.
It
Yeah,
gives you, it's like having a two-stick transfer case or a manual transmission. It's those adjustments that you can make to make
yeah.
things easier and better. It's not going to be all the time, but in those
No,
situations, if you can just buy the light that will do that when you need it, then you have it. Do you notice? I know you're up in Wisconsin, so you know about the snow. I don't, being down here in Southeast Texas. Does it help you in the snow with
oh
the
yeah,
IntelliLights?
absolutely. So I run a lot of all my trucks have yellow on them for that snow reason because it
Hmm.
does see better. It does go better through it. The yellow is good for snow, but the more amber and the more red you get, it penetrates dust better. The only caveat is the more towards red you get, the less your eyes pick up on it. So we have like a little bit of threshold, and everybody's different, and that's what's cool about the IntelliLight is you don't like with like a 1010 and you get the yellow lens on this one, you're set with that yellow lens. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's great in the couple applications I use it for snow or dust, but then when I want, maybe a little bit wider to see the colors of something or something like that, I'm not able to change on this light. It's cool with IntelliLight, you can do that. So I could be following somebody, um, you know, and getting dust, and I still need to see them. So I have it set on a low amber, but then as soon as I get past them in like a racing situation, or say like they go off on another trail, then I'm able to just change my lights, via a switch or my phone rather than, having to go out and either, with some light companies, you clip covers on, or you just, change to a different light set, or you have to put, like 10 different more lights on to get the correct light spread you want. With IntelliLight,
It's cheaper because you're getting more than one light
streamlined.
with the one light. Yeah, two or more. The IntelliLights, it's really, really cool. I think it's a wonderful option to have. I find those very interesting. What's the maximum light output on those? Do you recall the effective lumens?
Yeah, the effective lumens on that, right now they're about 4,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's a great light. It's still a really good light. We are actually coming out. We had V1 out, and I think that's one you saw. And that one, it has 6 diodes, and the bottom row is amber, and the top row is white. In the new light, where it's going to look more like this one, all the amber and the white lights are all going to be in each diode pot.
Oh,
So
neat.
you're not going to see row changing. You're going to see the whole light change. It'll be kind
Oh,
of
so
more.
it'll give you the effect that the LEDs are actually changing color when it, and
Yeah,
in
yeah. You
fact,
won't
you're
see
just going, yeah.
Yeah, you won't see the two
I
mixing.
noticed that. Yeah, I noticed the bars, and that wasn't a huge drawback, but it was like it'd be nice if you could just do it with all the lights there.
It's
But
far more aesthetic that way. Yeah.
yeah. So the other thing I was going to ask you about, is the and I think you already answered this, but is the IntelliLights also going to get the circuit board upgrade?
So the IntelliLight does have its own PCB. And that'll probably be one of the later ones to get the output upgrade. But yeah, like I said, all of our
I could imagine you guys are going to put them in everything you got. I mean,
Absolutely.
20%. Come on,
Yeah,
and less power because that's kind of the downside to light bars is if you did like I did, I built my own light bar, and the lights that I used, obviously I didn't use the Tyri Lights. I was before I even knew Tyri Lights existed. But I think that I'm trying to remember how many amps that thing is. I think it's like 40 amps, maybe 50 amps using, because I used 80 watt LED lights, and I actually had to split up the run of the wires. It was going to be like a huge cable running down one side. I actually split them up 4 lights and 4 lights and ran down both A pillars to a device. I actually use a DC motor controller to dim the lights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
instead of buying actual LED dimmer,
Yeah.
you can use a DC light. A DC motor speed changer, and it flashes the LEDs fast enough where it drops the current rating and everything else. But anyway, so I could actually adjust it. I had a button on there that I could just bypass it and do but wait, there's more, which was fun. But I don't think it would run very long on the 65 amp alternator that I had have in the XJ.
Yeah. No, I hear it. We had to we built an F-150. Tyree has one. You might see it on stuff, but it's got 7 D18s up top in a light bar configuration, kind of like
Oh,
that.
good
And
Lord.
yeah, I wired that whole truck myself. And
Stop.
yeah,
I can only get so erect.
I know it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm running 0 gauge wire, and I got them paired off. I got 3 lights on one, 4 on the other, on 2 different switches. Yeah, it's a lot. So
Yeah.
when you're talking about amp draw and output and stuff, it starts when you're getting in those higher end builds. It really starts adding up really fast. Like even for like the racing program and stuff like that. A
Oh,
lot of guys,
sure.
they have so much equipment on these rigs, and they gotta use it sparingly, but they need lights. They need to be racing at night, so they gotta allocate that. And having a light that can output more and take and have the same amp draw or less than a lot of the competitors is huge in that market. Same with overlanding, same in like heavy duty rock crawling. A lot of these guys have like multiple winches and air compressors and stuff like that. So amp draw is massive, and it's when you start getting into the higher power stuff is when you really start taking note of that and allocating your amp draw and stuff like that. So yeah, the PCB stuff that we're working on is huge. Like I said, it's gonna be game changing, and I can't be more stoked for it. So
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad that you mentioned it here because that's if you guys don't get it, that's a big change. I mean, you get more light output. It requires probably the same amount of current, but you get more light out of it. So yeah, I mean, you can only go so far before you start winding up with wiring that is huge. I mean, I think everybody's seen the 1,000-watt audio amplifiers and the speaker wires and all that stuff that is huge wiring. So until we get what is it called? The wiring that doesn't have any resistance, not the super cooled. Anyway, the superconductor, yeah. Until we get superconductor wiring, we're going to have to deal with huge wiring for these high output devices.
Yeah, gold wiring is not cheap, so
no, but looks good on your teeth. Cole, you know how the kids love the social media. We've mentioned the website, Tyri Off-Road.com, Tyri, offroad.com, no spaces, no capitalizations. It's Tyri Off-Road.com. Where can we find you on the social media?
So you can find Tyri on Instagram at Tyri_Lights. You'll see all of our cool stuff there. You can also follow me. I am Roostin Rogers on Instagram. I got a lot of off-road stuff on there. Some Ford stuff, a lot of Jeep stuff, though. A lot of good Jeep stuff. So, but you can follow us there. And then we also are on Facebook. We have a new Tyri Off-Road page. So if you're on Facebook as well.
I'll have to follow you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot for being here. And I know we talked a lot, but I feel like there's a lot more we should talk about. So we'll have to get you back.
Yeah, maybe we could do that duo episode. We get Eric on here too. It'd be fun.
All right, man. Have a great day. Thank you again.
Thank you, Tony. You have a good one.
Broadcasting since 2010.